years. Ben Keene enlisted. Ben Keene was able to get some amazing training working for our Army. He picked one of those easy units called the 101st Airborne, and he saw active duty on the front lines in engagements in the Middle East. He picked up some additional skills while he was working for the military in the world of IT. He'll tell you a little bit about some of that. But he was also deeply affected. And he came back to Pittsburgh with a case of post-traumatic stress disorder that was at the top of the top of the top. He's given me permission to share with you that he tried to numb the pain. And the way he numbed the pain was in a bottle. So he came back broken after serving. And he needed somebody to kind of reach out and help him get back his confidence, get back his self-esteem. And he found a staffing firm in Pittsburgh. Actually found a staffing firm who's on our board of directors, Susie Dietrich and Alltech. And she's got an amazing story of the interview process and the call she got from the recruiter. And they said, we got to give this guy a shot. I mean, there's some something there. So over a course of successive assignments, he knocked it out of the park everywhere he was assigned, ended up getting an offer that he thought he couldn't refuse, and for a period of time took a permanent gig and decided maybe this wasn't exactly the place I wanted to hang my hat, so he went off to another staffing firm, Tech Systems, part of the Allegis family. And he has been doing contract work for them. He is currently on assignment with one of the nation's largest banks, financial institutions. And that's his job that helps to pay the bills and helps him support his family. But as he became a bit more self-actualized, and he reflected on his journey, he thought to himself, and he told me last night how many vets there are that came out of these conflicts in the Pittsburgh area alone. He told me there are 40,000 that probably could use some assistance, use some support. So he founded an organization called Steel City Vets. They were able to achieve nonprofit status, 501c3 organization, and they are doing amazing things that only a veteran who's been there and who has experienced the challenge of recapturing his life can understand. And he surrounded himself with a team of people who inside of Steel City Vets and in Pittsburgh are doing some amazing things. His story did not go unnoticed, and so he has been picked up locally in the Pittsburgh media, at least in an online digital version of People magazine. Somebody came across him. So as Michelle Snyder, our Director of Public Relations, and the team that vetted all the entries presented him, it was like, gee, has he already been exposed? And the answer was, yeah, he has been a little bit, but his story is so compelling on so many levels that I've just kind of explained to you. So we talked to Susie, and we talked to the folks at Tech Systems, and they said, this guy's a real deal. And this guy really is an advocate of the kind of employment opportunities that we provide. So without further ado, it is my great pleasure to introduce someone who has served this country, someone who is serving this industry, and someone who is our National Staffing Employee of the Year. Please give it up, Mr. Ben Keene. Ben. Ben. Right over there. All right.
Wow. Well, my face was really big on that screen earlier. Like, really big. Anyway, good morning. Let's try it again. Good morning. I'm very interactive, so I like give and take, so. Anyway, thank you for having me here today. I'm extremely honored to be named the 2016 National Staffing Employee of the Year. However, before I go any further, there are some amazing people here in this room, as well as back in Pittsburgh, that I'd like to recognize. First, a huge thank you to Susie Dietrich from eStaff Consulting Group, who felt I deserved the nomination. Second thank you is to Jason Liz and Mike Masalti from Tech Systems, who took that idea and ran with it. And while she took it out of my remarks initially, I have to thank Michelle Snyder from the ASA, who has been amazingly awesome, along with the entire team of ASA, and made sure that when I got here, I didn't just have the red carpet rolled out for me. I've been spoiled the entire week so far. So thank you. When I got the phone call saying I was selected, I was overwhelmed by feelings of honor, pride, and to be honest, fright. To be recognized by others based on things you have done means you must continue to perform at the level that you're currently at. To allow myself to glide on this great honor is one thing, but it is another to show that I will continue to improve myself over time. This is a promise I make to myself, my advocates, and my colleagues. This amazing award is also a direct reflection on two groups I associate myself with. The first group is computer nerds. Surprise! I grew up wanting to know how things worked, ripping apart my mom's toaster, putting it back together successfully 90% of the time. Then shortly after high school, I enlisted in the Army as a communications expert, providing that critical voice and data communications required to effectively run combat operations. And now I work within the IT field. The second group is veterans. Besides the title of father, this one gives me the most pride. I served for 8.5 years, and I completed several deployments and received my honorable discharge in 2008. I often say that while you can take me out of the Army, you can't take the sergeant out of me. I feel it's important to demonstrate to employers and others the things veterans can bring to the table, and more importantly, to serve as an example to my peers. You often hear about the problems veterans face, whether it be drug and alcohol addiction, joblessness, homelessness, financial challenges, and others. These are things that veterans find themselves fighting long after they hang up their uniforms. Through my example, I hope to demonstrate that it is possible to overcome these challenges. Personally, my transition was not easy on many fronts. War is a crazy thing. They don't tell you that when you enlist. No, they say, raise your right hand, repeat after me. Just a few weeks ago, we marked the 14th year since America woke up to planes flying into the Twin Towers, the Pentagon, and the Pennsylvania countryside. For me, this coming March will mark 12 years since I entered what I consider true combat while assigned to the historic 101st Airborne Division, headquartered only an hour north from this very building. I came home and thought the solution to my struggles would be to drink my problems away. For 2 years, I was anything but the employee of the year. Sure, I went to work on time, and I did my job, did it well. But you'd be surprised what people can't see when you smile, pretend everything is okay, and cover yourself in lots of cologne. Then in October of 2010, my daughter, who was only 3 at the time, Rebecca, asked me to play with her. And while I was there physically, my mind was at yet another empty bottle. And when I saw this look of utter sadness come across her face, and I said I couldn't play, I received the biggest slap of reality across my face. It was in that moment I decided to turn things around. I put my energy into starting an organization known as Steel City Vets. I got into treatment, began talking to people about the things happening behind closed doors. I started speaking out on the issues veterans face and how they can be a valuable part of the team. Because you see, for many people, for many years, have viewed veterans as needy or looking for a handout. But I stand here today and I would like to offer you proof that veterans are anything but needy. We're not looking for a free pass, but for one chance. Today I'd like to offer you two challenges. The first one's simple. Think back to a point in your career when someone gave you that one chance to prove yourself. That one break that changed your life forever. Hold on to that idea. And think, would I be here today if I was not given that chance? This is the same chance veterans are looking for. The second is to change how we view veterans. While I know everyone in this room supports veterans, this image of a needy veteran has perpetuated for far too long. This change will not happen overnight, but it can be accomplished faster if we all work together and work alongside veterans rather than view them as needy or looking for a handout. This award reflects the fact that the American Staffing Association and its members are willing to work alongside veterans and to give us that one chance. And it is for this I would like to officially present Richard Walquist and the team at ASA with the official Steel City Vets coin.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.